untouchable.
All right, I'm live with some more Avowed.
It's nice to meet you, but it's even better to meet me.
All right, sure. Yeah, it is also St. Patrick's Day, so you better be wearing green. This is a threat. All right. We are picking up right where I left off. Throw my phone on the charger so it doesn't die on me. All right.
Lead the way.
Roll 10.
On your left here. Watch your back.
Stop that.
And roll. Roll 10.
Envoy, behind you. Not bad, Envoy.
Ow. Granada? Diamond. Oh. There's a priest somewhere. Stop that.
Another soul for the leader.
There's Keegan. Stop that. What's this? Hmm.
They're always after me, Lucky Charms.
Your orders. Very nice. Good reference. Hi, Tucker. Inevitability. Is this supposed to be damaging anything? Ah. I thought this was gonna be like Thor's hammer or something, but no. Break it down. Ancient memory. Oh.
They're magically delicious.
Hmm. Okay, so this is the last one, and then yeah, this is the last passive.
We have been here. We were here all the yesterdays before.
How long have you been imprisoned exactly?
The sun rises and sets. Time is mud. When were you born? When were we? We cannot say. We feel no spark of the Tabari Sinakis in this place. We cannot see it through their eyes. We slumber here, alone.
Look at ourselves.
Still wings, the clear glass of the pond. They took it all away.
You can't keep denying the role you played in it.
Akita ripped from their beds, rivers of blood. What was their crime? Now our memory is a wound reopened. They came suddenly, the stillness of night split by grinding steel.
Had to be lurking in the woods, biding their time.
We should have heard a warning on the breeze. First, they blinded us. Shining eyes pierced the concealing dark. Then they burned. Smoke ensnared the moonlight. The Akita screamed.
Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria.
Target your people first. You're the greater threat.
A means to an end. We saw a terrible design in the roaring flames. They had carved a path to the temple. We were their true prey.
And sever the godless connection to you?
Prune the branch, 3 grow in its place.
I ain't afraid of no
We
ghost.
persisted, we were everywhere.
That Ghostbusters?
How could they cull the wind? How could they track the stars? Then they turned to what the Akita had made. They toppled the statues. They set the libraries ablaze.
They wanted to anger you.
Blossom torn from the stem. How could we not defend ourselves? The Akita howled. They died. We cried out, sundered, soul by soul. We broke the earth, called down the storm, flung lightning from our hands. But they marched on. We grew tired. In fury, we exposed ourselves.
Played right into their hands.
We had to stop them. The rivers dried. We had no more to give. They raised machines. We tried to tear down the garden's walls. Then, nothing.
Andrea's here! You mean
We
nothing.
floated in a great glass eye. The fog closed in on us. We reached out, but the machines held us in. We could not feel the new day's sun play in the shifting tide. The cities crumbled. We could not save them. We could not save ourselves.
Candy Mountain Charlie.
It's Candy Mountain Charlie. No one gets to erase history, not even the gods.
Yet they did. A light snuffed out. We watched helplessly for aeons. Until you.
What would you do if I never come here?
A chill wind. Our branches shudder. We do not think of this. The wound numbs now. We watch as the river of time expands. In the silence of our prison, we find clarity. How many voices lost? How many saplings have we cut down? We sink into the endless night. Perhaps we should be here.
They've been justified once, but this has gone on too long. Or this is a sign that your time here has been good for you.
Fish swims in circles. We are not sure we understand.
What about your mistakes? Would you make them again?
We cannot choose where seeds fall, yet we can feed, prune, protect. The soil stirs. We have a new memory of this place. You opened the final lock, entered the hidden glade. You listened. You stand at a cliff now. We watch your footsteps carefully. We twine together. We reach for the sky. We grow. We
Oh, Andrew, you're really sick? Oh no.
grow.
Ooh. Health constantly regenerates from below 50%. Nice.
Look out!
Oh, great. These things.
Draw 10.
Ow.
Worth and Roth.
And Fujiata?
Draw 10.
Got him. Ah.
Come on! Come on!
Draw 10.
You can stop that right now. Ow.
On your right here.
There we go.
That's done? Who's hungry?
Ooh, what are you thinking? Yahtzee, you might want to get that taken care of. Nothing up there. Ooh. Sneaky, sneaky. Oh, you're gonna monitor Fish's stream and sail with him? Alright. Have fun. Oh. Alright. What do we got here? Windwalker. What is this? Oh, jeez, Giata. Hup. Walker boots. These two. Dodge distance and dexterity. Maximum health, carry capacity, move speed. What does dexterity give me again? Attack speed, action speed. Eh. I mean, they look cool.
Roll 10. And roll.
Nicely done.
It's over here.
This feels familiar. Hurry, let's go inside.
Got it.
This is the library from my dreams. It's real? Look at all these tablets. Actual written records. Oh, somebody pinch me. And there's even some wine to read with. Oh, whoever was here last, I would have gotten along well with them. This looks like the Akita building this place. Clearly they wanted their story preserved, no matter the cost. I wonder who she was. She looks sad and familiar. Garlowain's gonads. Envoy? I never told you this, but I've dreamed of this place every night for most of my life. This is a godless library. An actual, real-life godless library. It's why I study the godless, because this place has haunted me since I was a child. And that's the chair. It's the picture of coziness.
Everything to blow over.
I do love your idea of hiding out, Envoy. Finally, you've arrived. Ah, there it smells. That took 10 years off my life. Wait. You must be the librarian from my dreams. Oh, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. Oh, though, you do look quite familiar.
The resemblance is uncanny.
You're
It has
telling
been
me.
quite some time. Too many years to number. Of course. You are an ancestor? A very fashionable one at that.
Ah.
No, child. We are the keeper of these tablets. Or have you already forgotten? Oh, of course. I was you in a past life. Oh, I'm such a fool. You lived with animancers, and yet the idea of awakening to your past lives never entered your mind.
Few can bear the mental and spiritual strain of an awakening. As often as not, it leads to madness.
Oh, darling, you know how I get around all the metaphysical talk.
That's why I'm here, remember?
I was the last of the Akita. Once the attack started, a few of us were charged with preserving as much of our history as we could. So we retreated with as much as we could carry. The attacks? You must mean the Magfolk attacks. Yes, we've heard. Is that the reason for the bodies outside? Yes. Your monstrous gods, who bought their divinity with blood and the souls of their faithful. They tried to butcher every last one of us.
They succeeded.
They did in the end. But they didn't get exactly what they wished for. I made sure of that. But how did the Magfolk reach you in here? They didn't. Between the screams of my kin being slaughtered and the screeching of the Magfolk, I couldn't breathe. That's the screeching I heard in my dream, Envoy. I knew I recognized it when we killed that Magfolk. Once it was gone, there was nothing left. And perversely, I found the quiet worse. So I decided on another way. One that wouldn't give your gods the satisfaction. Poison. Well, at least you washed it down with some good wine.
Here she would have preferred living.
You're not helping, Envoy. Yatsley, you know what you must do now. I abandoned my duty to protect our history, but you Someone must tell the story of the Akita, and there is no one else. I'm already an expert. What more do you want me to do? Oh, think about it, Yatsley. You have been training to be the new protector of this collection since childhood. I couldn't ask for a better successor. But that was your duty. I have my own dreams. Yatsley, if you do not become the new librarian, there will be no other. The stories of the Akita will turn to dust, and my people, our people, will be forgotten. Just as the burned queen wanted all along, when she sent her magfolk to choke the life from us. This is all too much. What do you think, Envoy?
Anyone else who can do this?
I'm already intrigued. You don't need to lay on the guilt, Envoy. I'm so glad that one of Sapadal's chosen stands with you, Yatsley. Our time is at an end, Yatsley. It's time for me to go. Wait! I've not even asked you any questions! Tell me about your marriage rights. Oh, did you mean for all your buildings to look so phallic? Unfortunately, my time is at an end. You must keep Yatsley alive. She is the last hope of the Akita. So this is goodbye. I wish we could have... No. I wish that all of you had a better ending. Choose well, Yatsley. And good luck. She's gone. Forgive me, Envoy, but we should get going. We can talk back in camp. Later.
Alright, that's another achievement.
Little power goes a long way.
Absolutely not.
Just a little spark. Charging. Little power goes a long way.
Which is a spreading flame. What does this do? Nearby enemies. Ah. All that for a mushroom. Nothing there.
We survived. Somehow. If you don't mind, I need to catch my breath.
Yeah, I think it's time to switch up the party.
There's always a weird sort of quiet on the eve of battle. I'm feeling that now. Seems like a good time to gather our thoughts and share a drink before whatever's coming.
Right. This seems like a perfect place to stop and relax.
Though it's hard enough to tell what's real here without a belly full of drink.
Sounds like you're nervous, dearie.
I'm feeling all kinds of ways. Anxious, excited, scared, hungry.
I feel it as well. It is only mortal to feel overwhelmed in the presence of the immortal.
Speaking of food, I'm gonna go grab something to snack on real quick. BRB. Alright. Will be alright, Kai?
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. Getting to see that vision of Tama did me good. Like, I finally let go of something I'd been holding too long. Now that we're here, I'm eager to see this through. Nothing worse than holding your breath and waiting.
One of us is ready for what's ahead.
I can't say that I'm prepared, but I'm ready.
What about you, Marius?
I had a feeling you might ask me that. I'm not sure I've really worked through what I've seen here, but I am grateful for the chance to see Yonko again. I feel like we're almost done with all of this, but we are in the weirdest place in the world, so who knows? I'm completely baffled, but when haven't I been lately? Being afraid doesn't even feel scary anymore.
You doing okay, Giata?
I think so. The garden is so much more than I expected. Full of contradictions. Wild, yet serene. Truthfully, I didn't come all this way searching for my own answers. But I found them. Or perhaps they found me. Now, it's like there's a new path laid out before me. A life after the dream scourge. We're close to something. A threshold between calm and crisis. Conflict and peace. Life and death.
Go too. Glad I'm not alone.
So am I. None of us could have gotten this far on our own.
What about you, Yatsley?
Well, I won't lie to you, Envoy. A lot's happened. It's not every day that you learn that you're the last hope to carry on a legacy, but... well, here we are. Never literally talked to myself before either. I think I annoyed her. Me? Oh, I think I need another drink. But here we are. I just need a moment to take it all in.
All the time you need.
Thank you, dearie. I'll be ready by the time the fun starts. And I wouldn't worry. Our little group here is perfectly frightening, and I'm sure our enemies would agree. We'll be fine. I can't speak for anyone else, though.
You've listened to all of us. How about you? You've been through a lot since you arrived. You've been shipwrecked and assassinated, harangued by gods, bureaucrats, and a death guard. You've had your soul poked, your loyalties questioned, and your sleep regularly interrupted by a god with no respect for privacy. Yet you've kept yourself and all of us together. How are you really doing?
Not a thought.
You're very resilient. Under different circumstances, I would credit your nature as a godlike. But we all know better. You're strong enough to survive anything. Zapadal picked a good soul when they made you.
That actually made sense to me. As if I've learned something about souls and whatnot.
Take that as a compliment.
How about you, Envoy? What keeps you so stoic in the face of everything?
Ooh. I want to go with number 1, but I also want to go with number 5. If I told you, it wouldn't be a secret. Number 4 is also tempting. Whiskey. Yeah, this would be more my answer.
Basically the same way you hunt a cloud panther. Become the forest.
When we first met, I didn't think you'd last long. But then I saw how you handled that dream thrall bear. Shook off your own death like a bad cold. And then you confronted your own killer and let him go. It takes a special kind of strength to stay your hand in a moment like that.
I didn't know much about you at that point. You were traveling with Kai and you died, which I thought made a lot of sense.
I remember your calm. How you listened to my shouting match with the governor and actually heard me. And when they burned my home, you gave me another one. A sanctuary where I could be myself. I'll never forget that.
You were my hero right away. You rescued me from those sporelings. You got my priceless face. What more could a girl ask for?
And now look at you. Look at us. How far we've come in a short time.
Five oddballs on a mission to confront a god. What could go wrong?
Quite a lot, as it turns out. But the journey is worth it.
Not to raise the sails before the anchor, but we left trouble in our wake. Fjord, Thirdborn, Solace. If we make it out of here, it won't be to a living land's suddenly at peace.
Just this once. Could we forget about the rest of the living lands? Some of us could use a break.
If we can't take a moment to ourselves on a floating island outside reality, then I don't know where we can.
Knowing our problems won't make them go away.
True. But a little rest will help clear our minds.
Sleep well. Tomorrow we finish this together.
I'm gonna go with the pistol. Yeah, an 11-point jump in damage. Yeah, that's good. Pick of the... Power attacks deal very high stun. Ah,
Envoy, have you recovered yet from our chat in the library? I don't think I have yet, but maybe talking it out will help.
Much I can add.
I think I just need to say some things out loud, if that's all right. It's just... we already have a lot to take care of, don't we? We have a god and an empire, both vying for our attention, and now I have this legacy forced on me. I was already unsure what to do, and now a third option appears like the world's worst surprise. But... it makes sense. My whole life has been about the godless in one way or another. It explains why I knew the language, why I felt so drawn to the ruins.
At least maybe we should talk this over with Koichi. Get his perspective.
I love the man, but he'll just be endlessly supportive, the fiend. And trying to send a letter when we're on the move like this? It's a struggle. It's not an answer I would have expected, but it's an answer. And now that I know, I kind of thought, well, honestly, I feel more... full. Like a puzzle piece sliding right back into place. No matter what happens, even if my path doesn't lead to the library, I feel better than I have in ages.
So it gives you a whole new direction for your life. See, I'm glad you can get your answer, no matter what happens next.
So am I. I think... for the first time in my life, I don't know what to do.
Congratulations, Yardsley. Now you're just like the rest of us.
No matter what, I've always known exactly what I want. But this is the first time I've had more options than time in the day. What do you think?
Life, you know your desires better than I do.
Because I want your advice, Envoy. Please. What do you think?
Stop now.
You're right. The Akita have been with me my whole life, in one way or another. I owe it to them and myself to see it through to the end. Thank you, Envoy. I've been agonizing over this for longer than I want to admit. Finally picking a destination makes the journey a lot easier. Oh, but I am not looking forward to telling Quilici.
He'll understand. Your happiness and fulfillment are everything to him.
Well, come on. We've bigger things to deal with. Literally, in Sapadal's case. Much as I'm loath to relinquish the spotlight, we should be off. And Envoy, thank you, truly. Now, let's go.
Alright.
What do you do with everything you whittle?
It depends.
We got 61 of those. Yeah.
Sometimes I'll leave them in camp. Sometimes I'll keep them for later.
But what if you find something out and about that you want more? And oops, your back is full.
Oh, then I'll leave something else behind. Never been one for collecting stuff anyway.
Sometimes I can't even talk to you.
Let's give Yardsley a break. Bring Marius in. Interesting.
Is this where your god friend sleeps? Gods, this is the place.
That's it. The heart of the garden. Sapadal's cage.
Decorated with skulls. Nope. Nope, that's poison. Arius, you might not want to stand in that for too long. Okay. Get out of here, wizard.
Glad that's over.
Hey, level up. Ability point, attribute point, companion ability point. Okay.
Charge it up. Just a little spark.
Macfold. Ooh, never mind.
Careful with that thing. It's a mind of its own. I'm rooting for the skeletons.
Not enough health. Alright. Alright. Now that I know it's shortened. Ow. Was it worth it? Does not appear so.
I'm rooting for the skeletons.
Right behind you. Up 10!
We've got company!
Nickworth and Rob!
Come on. Very nice of it to just stand there.
Close one. So, this is how you imprison a god.
Oh, wait. Like that?
Up 10! Nickworth and Rob!
Oh, it's getting straight up juggled. Oop. And ow.
Glad that's over.
Spoiled cabbage. Good. Really? This late in the game? Oh.
You have come at last, after so long. You are so small, we questioned if you were real. Then steps, a voice, through armies and corrupted soil, you persevered. Now, you are here.
Yes. Here to stop the Dream Scourge. It's not much time.
The rot. We feel it festering and spreading. What is it but an extension of our pain? Your Dream Scourge will end when our suffering does. We were innocent once. We woke, and we wanted nothing but connection. But the other gods imprisoned us, left us to suffer alone in this place. But you are here now. You found us, a sprout in the endless winter. There is little time. We would be freed from these bonds. The Strangler is close now. We feel her wire against our flesh.
Boudica?
She bays for our blood. Her wolves defile the city on the shore.
Something happening in Paradise?
Blood on the tile. The people's cries ring in our ears. She pierces us now. Now we will not brook this. Not again. A spark. Wait. The essence bends here. Time flows into itself. You can reach her. Will the garden to open, it will take you there.
Magic that powerful always has a cost.
A mountain of essence. We strain, but it will move for you. We were everything. What have we lost? What multitudes could we contain? We could run, leap in the water, flourish in forgotten hills.
You talk about what you did.
We must. We shall. We have been thinking of this. We mourn our past. We only seek peace now. A chance to regrow.
The only way I can set you free is if you truly want to change.
We trust you. You who have been by our side for so long. You met death, and you offered your hand.
He was troubled. He didn't need to die for it.
And where is your mercy for us? You know we deserve better than this. Give us peace. We want a chance to change. We deserve that opportunity.
Promise you will be better.
Do you think we have learned nothing from you? We deserve more than this prison. Let us have a chance to rest. We want peace. Or do you have no more mercy for us than you did for the bear?
I have no choice.
Yes, we have seen what you do to those you call monsters. We asked what you would do with an animal that sickened after a fight. Do you remember what you said?
Close the wound, disinfect it, heal it.
More than anything, that is what we desire too. Treat us as you would the bear. Clean our wounds, heal us. Grant us the same. The time has come for you to act. End our pain, and the dream scourge will cease. Give us peace. It is all we have wanted for so long.
Wait. Show me how.
Center your thoughts. Reach for us. Clear the fog. Tear down the gates. We were so blind, so lost. We brought such horrors to this place. We feel bright. We had forgotten what it is to live. We will grow, tend, Flower, we will always remember this. We will remember you when you are ash and soil and mulch.
And then down dealing high damage. Ooh. I'm someplace different now. Oh no, wait, this is the same place. I'd do the same thing. Alright, you two, let's go. Back on Dreamshore.
Andra's depths.
It's paradise.
Are we back in Dawnshore? Already?
This is Sapadal's doing. I'm certain of it. No power in Aora could transport us so quickly, or so far.
The beginning, where it all
What
started.
happened to the living land started long ago, and we're going to finish it.
Ah, are you seeing this? I don't think Paradise looked like this when we left it.
Looks like the war already started, and the giant roots are winning.
Marius, vines don't usually get that big this quickly, do they?
Based on their growth and size, I'd say we've been gone 2 or 3 weeks.
Never seen anything grow that fast before.
Welcome to the Living Lands.
Who knows if the garden affected time, or merely our perception of time? Assuming there's even a difference.
It's like how a body fights an infection. The fever gives you strange dreams that feel like an eternity.
Look at this place. It feels like we're still in the dream. And not just us. Those are more your people's ships in the harbor. And steel Garrote banners past the barricades. That can't be good.
Even Reingrim is here. Perhaps we'll get to see an Archmage in action.
I think I see Elia as well. What a strange reunion this will be.
The Blessed Day Wardens are here too. That conflict we've been trying so hard to prevent started without us.
The Ambassador has to know something.
If he didn't start this himself.
The Steel Garrote have been itching for a fight this whole time. This would have happened with or without us.
Before we go, what happened back there with the Dream Scourge and Sapadal?
Read Salpadal from the prison. The Dream Scourge is over.
I'm not sure. That's good, right?
It's a relief that the Dream Scourge won't be a problem. I only hope we can say the same about Sapadal. Time will tell, I suppose.
After all this time, they're free. And the living land is free to heal.
We've cured the land, and we've even freed a caged god. All in all, rather a successful day.
Yeah. They'll help us in return.
Kid and God entwine. The flower shades the soil in which it grows.
We should take a look. See if we can get ahead of whatever storm is brewing down there.
People
Copy.
seem to be gathering west of here. Whatever's happening, let's be a part of it.
Sansa. How did you... They marched in with no warning. I couldn't think. I just ran.
Alright, Sansa.
Envoy! What does the Garrote think they're doing?
Violating every code of war they can find.
It's an outrage. What did the artisans or merchants do to them?
How did you escape?
Took my notes and bolted when they came through Hightown. They didn't think I was worth the trouble.
Right now, that's a good thing.
If you're looking for survivors, a few of us fled to the Balrog.
How many?
I'm not sure. I saw Sapiento. God, I hope they're not trapped in there. I am sorry I can't be more help.
Done enough.
You always were a forgiving friend.
We should move. Let's hope the Garrote hasn't made it to the Balrog yet.
Envoy, wait! Before you go, I may have something for you. I took some supplies when I ran. If you think they'll help, they're yours. I'll even give you a discount. You know, for saving the city and everything.
Can't hurt to look. What do you have? You have this stuff the entire time. Alright. Stuff is as good as it's gonna get. We can steal Grote.
Why is there snow here?
It's gotta be Ringgrim's work. I heard she made it snow in Shatterscarp.
A familiar face.
Ringgrim.
Meet again, Envoy. Paradise burns, thanks to Ludwine and the Steel Garrote laying siege to it. But the Dream Scourge is gone.
Oh, I killed Ludwig at Malfioria.
It's remarkable how hard you mortals fight for causes that'll be forgotten within centuries. Still, I do think the world has been irrevocably, if minimally, changed by your actions.
We'd stop it all.
Perhaps. A new god being set loose on the world is certain to have consequences. Mostly, I'm curious about whether you think you've made the right choice.
Certain I did.
Ah, that mortal zeal. Always so fun. We will see if you're correct. I am interested in seeing the outcome of your story, Envoy. With luck, it won't end with you also on fire.
Look, it'll end with certain other parties in the fire.
I prefer ice, personally. But to each their own. Goodbye, Envoy. And Yardsley, I do look forward to when all of this is done. I am eager to work with you.
Oh, yes. We'll, discuss that later.
Shall ripple across the living lands.
Hey, what's up?
Envoy, how did you... I don't know.
It's great to see you again, but where the fuck did you come from?
You just appeared out of nowhere.
I'll be blunt with him.
The fuck?
Your face. We all wondered whose godlike you were.
That's not important right now, Radut.
Right. Forgive me, Envoy. I won't keep you long. I just want to make one request while you're here. As much as you can. Be good to the Living Lands.
What do you mean?
Don't let Adir fuck us over, is what he means.
Ah,
More or less. I'd just like for us to live lives that are free. For us. Not Adir to determine our fates. It's going to be up to you, Envoy. I know you have much to do, so I'll just leave you with that. Thank you.
good thing.
I don't want to go to Yezwa. Sure will miss that oasis, though.
Envoy, didn't think I'd be seeing you again. From one battlefield to another, eh? Dream thralls and now this.
Yep.
Ludwig's a loose cannon, and the Steel Garrote don't answer to anyone but her. This place won't be safe for adherents for decades, even if she wins. Gods help us all.
Yeah, we'll have to back off for a while. That's for certain.
Envoy? Is it really you? Mihala told us you went into some place called the Garden to seek a god?
When you didn't return, we took you for dead.
What did you see there? The god you felt in Nakutadek?
The origin of the Dream Scourge? It was the act of a god this whole time?
Everyone, please, please. We could get to the bottom of this if you would only let them speak.
It's been weeks, Envoy. What happened?
Out of the Living Lands and freed them.
Sapadal was responsible for the Dream Scourge. Their rage, their confusion, their fear.
But the plague isn't over. Dream Thralls still litter Shatterscarp.
There won't be any new infections. We've put a stop to that for good. Unfortunately, there's little we can do for those already in the grip of the Dream Scourge. We can give them comfort, nothing more. This will be a process. The Dream Scourge was never going to simply go away overnight.
Fortunately.
I suppose it stands to reason. I found that a quick fix is often anything but.
Yeah.
What of this god, then? What does it mean that you freed them?
Sapadal is the god of the godless. The god of the Living Lands.
Ludwig had intimated that this land grew a new god. But how can that be?
Giata and I have some theories about the nature of the Adra in the Living Lands.
I'd say we're past the point of theorizing.
If the Adra here is a closed system, like a terrarium for our souls, then a gradual accumulation of essence could coalesce into a being in the beyond.
Much like the formation of gemstones. All it takes is time and the right application of pressure.
Yep.
Wodka no doubt saw Sapadal as a threat to her authority. So, she killed the godless and imprisoned their god.
I assume it is this god we have to thank for the roots tearing apart Paradise? They erupted from the earth the moment those bastards stood up their first siege tower.
Nakutadek was riven with those things, not to mention what they did to the land.
We saw similar destruction at Nakuku Bell. If these roots and the Dream Scourge are the work of a god, and the gods thought it best to imprison this god, how could you let such a creature go free?
For now. Who's to say they don't get their feathers in a ruff again and wipe us all out with a tsunami?
It was Adir's arrival that disturbed Sapadal. We'll have nothing to fear from this god once we expel you from our lands.
Sapadal's power ravaged my people. I don't know that I can ever trust it.
Keeping watch over Sapadal was a sacred task Nandru gave us when he left. For that reason alone, my wardens owe them their allegiance.
Well, whatever happens, I suppose we can't put the godling back in the bottle now. But come, we have more pressing matters to attend to. The Steel Garrote have attacked Paradise. Inquisitor Ludwine has already joined the battle. She must have traveled like the wind to get here so fast.
I distinctly remember killing Ludwig on top of Mount Fjorda.
You did. I kicked her corpse when you weren't looking. Just to be sure.
Thanks.
Well, she's seen better days. But you wouldn't know it, judging by how she fights.
Ludwine's plowed through the militia like a knife through warm butter.
All right, let's keep the similes to ourselves.
She's going to try and kill me again, isn't she?
Regrettably, she's not in the business of making exceptions for people she deems Oathbreaker. So long as her passion for Wodica lives, so too will her spirit.
Then we destroy her faith, and the rest of her will follow. I have a theory about this. Let's talk at camp if you want to hear it. But I think we can kill her.
Oh, good. That will be easy.
It is not, I think, impossible.
What did you know about this attack of us?
She might not believe me, but I didn't want any of this to happen. It was Ludwine who called for the attack.
I didn't hear an answer, Ambassador.
She and her Steel Garrote laid siege to the city, shortly after you beat her to the garden.
State of the city?
We've had no news from inside for several days. From what we can observe, southern Paradise is in pieces, and the remaining militia batters at the gates to no avail.
Is there nothing our people can do?
Given the state of our supply route after the Dream Scourge, and the Steel Garrote's destruction, we expect the people trapped inside will run short of fresh food and clean water in a matter of days.
This is of the opposition.
We brought as many Hail and Able from Thirdborn as would come. But after the Dream Scourge and our losses from Nakukubel, we could spare so few. I worry it won't be enough.
Likewise, my wardens are still reeling from effects of the eruption. The keep was saved, but there is much to repair, particularly if we are to endure a siege. Most of my men remain at the keep. I can't risk them against the Steel Garrote for the sake of Paradise, not when we are so few.
Your plans for a counterattack?
Well, that's been a point of debate. We can't agree on how to stand against the Steel Garrote, nor who should lead the effort.
Nobody wants to risk their people at the front.
So you let the Paradise militia go it alone?
Even if our meager forces should make it inside.
The siege won't end until Ludwine does. And none of you know how to kill her.
Precisely.
What does Ludwine hope to achieve here?
The
Hi,
lawful
Tucker.
settlement of a new Adirian colony, supposedly. Or the establishment of a Wodican state. She could win with a godlike in her ranks. Your presence would serve as a powerful endorsement.
Yeah, fat chance.
Somewhere inside that hollow head of hers, I believe she always hoped she'd turn you to her side. Remember, she has an obligation to Wodica, a solemn oath. And neither the Steel Garrote nor the queen that was look kindly upon oathbreakers.
Why did Ludwine decide to attack Paradise now?
Because a victory here would discourage resistance elsewhere. The better question is, why didn't you stop her?
Excuse me? She's a 7-foot-tall skeleton powered by her devotion to the goddess of retribution. This isn't my fault.
Sure. Just blame the dead woman. Very mature.
Who else should I blame exactly? Our envoy, perhaps? For not stopping Ludwig and the Tusks?
You could start with blaming your own incompetence.
That has a point, Ambassador.
Ludwig's the muscle. I'm merely the personality. What was I supposed to do? Frown her into submission?
What good are you as a diplomat if you can't even keep your own beast under control?
The Inquisitor was so convinced the Living Lands would unite against Adir that she's nearly made it true. One people, one law, one true God. That's Ludwig's vision for the Living Lands.
Explore any alternatives before deciding to attack.
What passes between Ludwig and her men, or between Ludwig and the Emperor, for that matter, is not my affair. But if I had to guess, this was the alternative.
Your empire is doing what it does best. Stamping out dissent until surrender is the only option.
Your republics are hardly any different. Their intentions in the Deadfire were certainly not pure.
As you say, we left the republics for a reason.
What the Emperor wants?
The Inquisitor answers only to Wodekan. In attacking Paradise, she has dragged us all far beyond the bounds of the Emperor's desires.
What happens next?
I've answered your questions. Now I would like you, all of you, to answer mine. Ludwig has sent a message to the Emperor informing him of her attack. He will send advisors and reinforcements swiftly in response. What will his representatives find when they arrive? A new colony? A budding grave room? Before you face Ludwig, you should know what you're fighting for. All of you must decide, together. But whatever you decide, understand, the days of the frontier are done. Adir will come. Indeed, we are already here.
Does that work?
The Living Lands would retain its own laws under a grave appointed by the Emperor. The grave would be expected to promote and develop the Living Lands to our mutual benefit. They would divide the island into administrative districts and see them governed by mayors appointed from the local communities. The island would provide tribute in the form of resources and taxes, and in times of war, soldiers. The Empire, I should note, is nearly always at war. In return, the Living Lands would enter Adir's sphere of influence, and should outside nations attempt to invade, we would come to the Grave Room's aid.
You think?
Tribute, he says. Taxes. Soldiers. The Empire has tried it all before. Look to the Eastern Reach if you don't believe me. They want to bleed us dry, to fill their coffers and fight their wars, to break us like wild animals. But I will not bend.
It's still a gamble, but I think it's the safest bet. We'd get the benefits of Imperial trade and protection without losing all of what makes this place special. There's no way of knowing what it would mean in another generation or two. But right now, it gives us the security and stability to recover.
We were fine before Adir showed up, and we'll be fine when they're gone. Trust the lands and her people, Envoy.
If we give Adir power over us, we can't be surprised if they decide to flex it later.
Sapadal?
Subtle, pernicious, cut the rot, yet the disease remains. Safety among spiders. A web gleaming with dew. They weave, they wait.
Not a good. Tell me about the other possibility.
Of course.
Another idea. How about a united living lands?
Oh, Envoy, no. Do not suggest that lightly. Think of the Emperor. There would be reprisals. Ones which this conclave could not survive, fractured as you are. Not unless you came together and formed a nation of your own. It would be difficult. No, impossible. I'm certain you would fail. Think of your people, all of you. Think of the lives at stake.
What do you think?
We deserve our autonomy, even if we must fight for it. Anything less would be surrender.
Fleeing someone else's laws and authority is one thing, setting up your own is another. We're an island of misfits and dissidents. We'll still have to surrender some of our autonomy, and we won't agree on what that means overnight. We'll be vulnerable. Without allies, other powers will see us as ripe for the picking. Know that this is a hard road to walk.
We were fine before Adir came. We'll be fine when they're gone.
I think we ran things perfectly fine before your kin got here.
So the assembled leaders have thoughts?
Though I'm hardly eager to work with any of you. I like the idea of twisting beneath Adir's boot heel even less. So long as the Wardens can continue our vigil, I'm open to uniting, if you are.
It's a nice idea, but consider the costs. If we walk away from a relationship with Adir, we're leaving a lot of trade on the table. But the people of Thirdborn have friends in the world. I'm sure we'd find our way through.
With the Envoy's support, we'd have a god in our pocket. What could the Empire do to stop us? Together, we could repair Thior, and create such miracles of animancy the living lands will become the envy of the world. It would be the honor of my life to stand with my people beside you all.
Top it all?
Risk into bounty. Does the winter frost dissuade the seeds? Many fruits on our boughs. We graft many leaves into strength.
About the other possibilities.
Of course.
Why are you so involved in this decision, Hildard?
I know why.
You have seen more of this land, and met more of its people than any of us. Your opinion is informed. You were empowered by the Emperor himself to investigate an impossible problem. And against the odds, you solved it. You are the close personal friend of a rogue god. And in our dealings together, I found you to be a person of substance and conviction. But mostly, it's because you're a Adiran, so I trust you. And these fine people here are going to do whatever they like if they don't agree with you anyway.
I know what I would like to do.
Well, don't leave me in suspense.
only person who disagrees is Kai. For United Living Lands.
Oh, gods have mercy.
Solus and her wardens stand vigil with the living lands.
By grit and steel, Thirdborn stands with the living lands.
Fjord and her animancers stand with the living lands.
They seem united.
We deserve this opportunity. Thank you for believing in us.
Fighting a battle together is easy. I just hope everyone's willing to stick it out when it comes to the politics.
We'll try.
They made the right decision for once.
Finally, some sense permeates the proceedings.
On your head be the consequences. That leaves the matter of Ludwine and the Steel Garrote. She will never surrender, Envoy. You must kill her, or we will lose Paradis, and eventually the island.
Defend peace with my life, even if it means the wheel.
The living lands will never be free until we break the chain around our necks. Ludwine must die her final death.
She better say her goodbyes while she can.
I'm proud to fight at your side, Envoy. One last time.
Let's get to work then. We've got a walking corpse to bury.
The Paradis militia will be at your back. Give her no quarter. The future waits for you.
Thank you all for trusting me.
Thank you for deserving it. Now, go and teach the Steel Garrote a lesson they will never forget.
Show them that the living lands will not be broken across Vodka's knee.
We will send reinforcements to help you reclaim the Eastern Gate. From there, work your way to the main plaza.
Good.
May all the gods of Eora and the living lands protect you.
Let's take back the city together. Show the Steel Garrote how the living lands takes care of its own.
So we're going after the Steel Garrote now, right? Let's do it.
All right. Yata has an idea how to stop.
You should get some sleep. Big day coming up.
Well, just checking on everyone.
Well, I'm just fine. More or less. I've been in a lot of dangerous situations, but it's always been a fight to survive. It's just a fight. Putting my life on the line for someone else's cause. It's the opposite of survival. It's foolishness.
Once it's necessary.
You know, I've never seen a bear go to war. They fight for survival, not for causes. We're about to go out there and risk our lives for what? A concept of how things ought to be? We might die, all to determine who sleeps in the nicest house in Paradis until the island decides it's time for a change. It's fine, really. But it's some blessed day Sokka when you think about it.
Be over before you know it.
I feel like you're not trying to make me feel better. I'll be all right, Envoy. You go get some blessed day rest.
Giata, you had a theory?
Can't sleep? Neither can I. We're going into battle for the soul of the living lands, rallying under the banners of the Paradis militia. Your Emperor will not be pleased.
I have influence in court. My report on the living lands will change minds.
Political influence is dangerous. If you aren't careful, it can turn against you. When a godlike fights in battle, people take note of which side. The Adirans will doubt your loyalty. The locals will doubt your commitment. You may even doubt yourself. This is the first time you were told to pick a side. And I fear it won't be the last.
difficult for me. Souls from the living lands, or my heart belongs to Adir.
This conflict has really pulled you apart. Worse, it's put your soul at risk. From what I understand, your ambassador is very persuasive, very powerful, and very accustomed to getting his way. For a politician like him, losing a battle is not a defeat. It's an opportunity. When he promises you the world, don't listen. He'll fill your head with lies if you let him.
Noted. Thanks for the warning.
I'm glad we understand each other. It's good to see you fighting for the misfits and rabble-rousers. Time for you to get some rest. We have a big day ahead of us. Not before I've done some reading. We should take a moment to acknowledge what happened back there. You liberated the god of the living lands. Now they are unchained, free to do whatever they want. That's quite a gamble you made.
Keeping yourself all trapped wasn't good for the island.
No doubt it would have gotten worse over time. If not for you, Sapadal would still be pacing their cage like a wild animal. Which means you have leverage over a god. How do you plan on using it?
To make the living. Honest, I haven't thought about it.
No time like the present. Sapadal's imprisonment shaped this island. Now that everything's changed, I'm curious what will happen. We cannot know if the living lands will normalize or destabilize as a result of our actions.
Either way, things could not continue as they have.
For better or worse, change is inevitable. Maybe you'll find some comfort in prayer, now that one of the gods is listening. I hope you don't mind me bringing it up. The subject matter is a bit much for our little camp.
You? Anything.
You're too kind. I want you to know this has been an unforgettable experience. Wherever we go from here, I'm grateful to have been a part of it. Until next time.
Rest.
Not before I've done some reading.
Okay.
I can't
That's everything.
wait to give the Steel Garrote a piece of my mind.
I have an unspent ability point? Oh. Let's see here. Yeah.
The reckoning is long overdue.
You...
Kai and Giata.
Do I look as useless as I feel? Don't answer that.
Oh, everybody's involved.
Never had a chance.
Ooh, the entire party's here. Lockpicks.
It's no use. We're overrun.
Yeah.
Good fighter.
Of course she would join in their siege. That's one Mukai. That's it.
I'll hang back and watch the gate.
That'll teach you!
Ranger. Of course they're here.
Just what everyone needs at the end. Someone to watch him die. Either you're made of iron, or a deer in armor is better than I thought.
Barely holding on, really. I'll always thank the gods that we took down the mines and crippled the living land's resistance.
You survived the explosion.
Survive. They flatter me. I'm barely hanging on. Those resistance bastards did a number on me, as you can see. On that note, I'm glad to see you. I can't believe, after everything we accomplished in Shatterscarp, that you would betray the Emperor. Why, Envoy?
What are you here?
What right do the others have to be here? Because they landed some number of years before us? Does that mean they deserve it? You won't stop us. Even if I'm food for worms. One way or another, these lands belong to Adir.
Nope.
used to quiet.
Nothing. I thought you left town weeks ago.
I'm gonna put a stop
About
to it.
time. You're the only one Ludwig will listen to.
Are any of the
I
survivors?
saw a few on my way here. I imagine they've been waiting for this to happen for a long time. Listen, one...
Alright, sorry to cut that off, but I gotta use the restroom. BB. Alright, I'm back.
One of the Garot's units is scouting up ahead, maybe 5 strong. I wouldn't want to fight them if I were you. Take this key. It'll unlock the gate to the canals. You can thank the captain who forgot it.
Appreciate it. I'm grateful.
You shouldn't
I'll be
find
careful.
much opposition down there. I wish someone had stood up to the Steel Garot a long time ago. But, well, you're here now. That's what matters. Good luck.
We should go now, while the fighting's died down.
Can you not hear the screaming outside?
She's right. We can't go now. Then when? Should we wait till the Garot set this bar alight?
They have thaumaturges out there.
Lead them.
Draw 10!
Oh no, oh no!
That'll show 'em. Let's finish.
Great.
This.
here. What exactly do you think you're doing?
Liviana, don't you ever take a break?
You nearly died in my clinic. Correction, you did die. And now look at you, fighting the Steel Garrote. What have you got to say for yourself?
It's nice to see you too.
Well, at least you're alive. Try and keep it that way. Kai, is this your doing?
Come on. I couldn't have kept him out of the action if I wanted to.
I knew you were a bad influence. We're patching up folks as best we can, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it. War is a damn bloody mess.
Anything I can do to help?
Yeah, stop the fighting. I can't say I approve of you leaping into the fray, but it's always nice catching up with a former patient. Wait a second. Jada? Jada Castell? What are you doing in the middle of this?
Surviving. It's good to see you, Liviana. Unfortunately, we're on a tight schedule. Do you need anything? Money? Supplies?
Once this is over, I could always use another pair of hands at the clinic. The invitation's still open.
Thank you, but I've decided to tough it out as an animancer. On my own terms. Can you manage without me?
Are you kidding? I'm happy for you. Besides, I've got Chico on bandage duty. I just wanted you to know there's a place here whenever you want it. Gods be with you, Envoy. For my sake, try not to die a second time.
Come on. You know this. You practiced with Uncle Capo 100 times. Tight, but not too tight. You don't want to cut off the blood flow.
Envoy, it's good to see you fighting on the right side of history. Out of curiosity, what turned you against the Steel Garrote?
Can't endorse what they're doing in the Empire's name.
It takes courage to stand against those fanatics. You know the Steel Garrote a lot better than we do. Their coordination is damn impressive. Any advice?
Give them a moving target. Force them to improvise.
Not a bad idea. When the fighting starts, some soldiers forget how to think on their feet. Ready to make history whenever you are.
You're a natural commander.
You know, I've actually heard that a lot. Oh.
Nicely done. Come on. I can take care of the town.
10.
We make a good squad.
Wodeca demands your submission. Stand against her and fall.
That's Ludwig ahead. Lead on. I'm with you to the end.
One final time.
There you are. Envoy. Come. So, you survived the garden. Did you come all this way just to try your luck again? To kill me more efficiently than last time?
Twice by my count. Maybe the third time's the charm.
You'll get your chance.
Then what are you waiting for?
Look around, Envoy. Heelguard should have listened. He tried to bring order through compromise. He failed. Order is meant to be imposed by a stern, guiding hand.
Her order wields sharp steel. She must set down her blade.
This isn't order, Ludwig.
Oh, but it is. Some wounds must be cauterized in order to heal.
Cauterized? Your troops have nearly burned Paradis to the ground.
The only question is, what's to be done with you? You, who were once so bright and promising.
Her mind is already made up. She's just toying with us.
Sapadal's chains are broken, which means your soul is in their grasp. I don't know how deeply you've been compromised, Envoy. And if I don't know, then I cannot suffer you to live.
As usual, you're leaping to conclusions about something you barely
Do
understand.
not patronize me. I have every right to put down a threat to the Empire. Steel yourself, Envoy. Make this a fight to remember, even in death.
We would not welcome her death. There is still ample shade for her beneath our tree.
You attack, I won't hesitate to defend
All
myself.
this time, I knew you'd be worthy prey. Don't let me down. Farewell, Envoy.
There's no coming back this time. Prepare yourself for the next world.
Let's finish this. Together.
Once I'm done killing you, your god of flame!
We are every seed in the soil. We will always grow.
This is what we prepared for. No quarter.
Whoa! Queen among queens! Send me your aid!
The mighty Inquisitor sounds worried.
Worth and wrong!
Wait a second. I recognize those abilities. Ow.
Again! Holy help me! One last time! Go up! 10!
Ow!
Abandon me now!
Hi, Tucker. Hey, buddy boy.
Wherever Ludwine is now, she must be seething.
Of course, we'd be happy to kill her again, if needed.
She's done for, but we're not. Whatever's next, we'll face it. Together.
Guys, you're all gonna make me sick. But carry on.
Unraveled at last. We no longer feel her wire against our flesh. We are free always. We are free forever.
Silence falls over Paradise, as though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it, the ringing of a distant bell, the waving of banners, and cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle. You feel Sapadal close to your thoughts, stirring with interest. The god of the living lands is observing this moment, unfettered by confusion or fear. For the first time in centuries, they understand. The Paradise militia rallies to you, the outsider who defended them in their hour of need. Whatever happens next, you have won their confidence. You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out to be anything but simple. The Dream Scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction. You tell them the truth, how the plague came from a power beyond mortal understanding, and how it is finally at peace. Thanks to you, the Living Lands has escaped Adiran oppression. The free settlements unite under a common banner and begin the fraught process of negotiating new traditions and values. The Empire withdraws. The frontier remains wild, but not for long. Fugitives no more. The rebels of Paradise return to their home and to other free settlements, bringing their skills and secrets wherever needed. For once, they have a future. The refugees of Emerald Stair resettle in Thirdborn, bringing their skills and research to aid the local community. What starts as an uneasy partnership blossoms into a bond of trust. Through shared adversity, they find common ground.
Nice.
The ashes of Fior Messiverno continue to smolder. Scavengers avoid the ruins, fearful of spirits unleashed by animancy gone awry. The once promising city is nothing but a cautionary tale.
Damn.
For the people of Shatterscarp, independence is bittersweet. Those who cannot withstand the grief inflicted by Ringgrim's spell leave the settlements, vanishing into the wilderness. Those who remain find themselves forced to cooperate with others, often begrudgingly. With so many dead, the need to stave off hunger outweighs any distaste for certain trading partners. Solace Keep clings to its long-held isolation at first. But after mourning her friend Kostya, Mihala reluctantly deigns to open the doors of the fortress.
Hey!
Some dwarves greet newcomers with glee. Others still mutter darkly about outsiders. Mihala flounders in her earliest negotiations with the rest of the Living Lands, but slowly learns compromise. She develops a taste for Valian sweets. For the first time in many years, Kai feels an agreeable restlessness. Not to flee, not to drift, but to venture. He visits the distant shores Tama told him about, and savors the modern marvels, ancient wonders, and breathtaking expanses he beholds. His heart swells, not with grief, but with awe. There is so much to discover, and he will spend his years chasing all of the joy and beauty the world has to offer him.
Good for Kai.
With many of his anxieties and lifelong fears addressed, Marius now feels very differently than he did when he first met the envoy. Still far more comfortable in the wilds than among people, he nonetheless finds that his worries about the unknown were merely self-protection against the traumas of his childhood. Armed with this knowledge, he finds himself more capable of living in civilization, and far less fearful of his home in Galawain's tusks. While he never regains his former place as a warden of Solace, He spends his time traveling between Solace and Thirdborn, acting as a stubborn ambassador between the two.
Nice.
Giada continues to improve as an animancer. She dedicates her work to the spiritual health of the living lands, nurturing instead of exploiting. Others follow her example, seeking her tutelage from lands far and wide. In the years to come, rumors spread of a secret society gathering in the wilderness, where animancers work in harmony with nature. The dream of Fior Mes Iverno lives on in her. In a past life, Yahtzee was given a task: protect the history and knowledge of the godless. Now, many lifetimes later, she continues upholding that oath. She moves into the library in the garden, spending her days poring over the clay tablets there. But not even the letters from, and rare visit to, her lover help ease the loneliness that fills her days. Freed from torment for the first time in centuries, Sopadal turns their prodigious curiosity to the people that shaped them. They observe the ways their people live, and they think deeply about what they see. Though they flinch away from moments of violence, and they grieve souls returned to them too soon, the rage that once shook cities to rubble no longer rules them. Instead, they come to you with questions. They want to understand. After a time, they begin, tentatively, to garden. Where they can, they improve the lives of Kith, and the suffering that troubled them is reduced, if never fully eradicated. Their grief compels them to love, and they love unreservedly, with the power of a god. Sopadal pours a fragment of their power into the statue they claimed from the temple of Aethys. Newly embodied, they roam the living lands and learn to experience the world as Kith do. Their first attempts at locomotion are clumsy, and a stand of innocent trees is violently returned to the wheel. But as their confidence grows, so does their grace. Soon, they are bounding across the plains of eastern Dawnshore, leaping the river gorge in Emerald Stair, scaling the shark's teeth of Shatterscarp, and fearlessly wading into the Tusk's acid sea. When they break, they come to you to put them back together, and in time, they learn to fix themselves. They wander far afield. You see less of them, but they are never far from your thoughts, and on the rare occasion they return, they always bring you something beautiful and strange. The sounds of celebration pull you out of reverie. Many are waiting to greet you with open arms. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.
Everything's about to change. What does that mean? Alright. No post-credit scene? Okay. Well, I guess that's it. Thanks everybody for stopping by, and I will be back tomorrow with The Division. Hold on.
Intelligence System Analytic Computer is activated. All ISAC systems are confirmed online.
See you then.